That is the Kilted Coaches 10 Burpee Challenge. Boom. Are you game?
It's time for another
Mindset Monday.
We're so calm with that now,
We're
aren't we?
very calm with it now. We got fed up of the whole Mindset Monday.
You just did it again, mate.
I know, sorry.
So this week's episode was all about stopping caring what people think.
Yeah, how to stop caring what people think of you. I think it's something that we've certainly been mentioned to us a few times about, you know, do you never care about like walking down the high street wearing your kilt? You know, do you not care? Obviously it's awesome wearing a kilt, right? So of course we wouldn't care.
Or certainly that when we whip our kilts off, they're like, do you not care that the world sees your bum? You're like, we don't even care.
Yeah. And I think the whole thing about, you know, we're very comfortable with ourselves, comfortable with our sexualities, with our profession, with our message and who we are. We don't, I guess there is a little bit of ego now and again, but not really. I mean, we're totally open to our flaws, to our weaknesses. Everyone has them. And I think there are a lot of YouTube channels out there that will put the message out that everything's perfect and they're awesome and everything in their life is awesome.
Yeah.
But it's really not the case. So, how do you stop caring what people think of you?
Quite a complicated one, because sometimes people get really worked up about, you know, what people think, and therefore it's a big deal, isn't it?
Yeah. But ultimately, let's say for instance, you go to the gym, because here's a common one, okay? Females going to the gym and going to the weights area in the gym, okay? Female going to the gym is usually a big deal in itself. Never mind going to the weights area in the gym where all the big guys are, all testosterone flying around all over the place. That just doesn't sound very good, does it?
PG Steve, PG Steve.
And so they're in their head, they're thinking, but these guys are experienced in going to the gym and lifting weights. They're going to look at me thinking, who is this girl? You know, coming to think she can use our weights. And but these are all thoughts. These are all ideas that may or may not be true. It's ideas in your head or thoughts in your head about what these guys are thinking. But we've been discussing this before we started filming, and it's kind of like double vague, like being vague anyway, or having a question mark. Like you're not quite sure, because that's what thinking is. You're never quite sure. You don't know what somebody's thinking, but you're thinking what they're thinking, which is just crazy, right?
It's like, I think what you think, what you know, you know.
Yeah.
You know what I know, but you don't know.
But they don't know that we know that they know they know.
You know.
So it becomes this insane cycle of events that goes on inside your head. Now, it's all well and good us saying that, you know it's crazy. In fact, if you're watching this right now and you're quite highly strung when it comes to what people think of you, you know that's irrational. You do. Because it is irrational. Like, who cares what anybody thinks of you? But how do you get over it?
I remember when I used to teach classes in the gym. Now for me, when I was teaching classes initially, I had to adorn this alter ego, because the idea of, when I'm myself to camera, whatever, that's fine, but when I was younger, I didn't have the confidence to stand up in front of all these people and then take them through a routine. So I used to like put on this completely different self that was louder and braver, and I just pretended I was someone else. I used to walk in there like, right guys, here we go, blah blah blah. And eventually I didn't need to wear that particular suit anymore, because it became who I was, you know, personally. But then what started to happen was, every now and again, and this happens to a lot of instructors, is like another instructor comes into your class and you care what people think. You're like, oh no, there's someone that knows what they're talking about. I hope like I do a good job. And it took a few times where I just realised, it's like, I do know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
People do enjoy it, or certainly did at the time, the content I had in my class. But you've just got to believe in yourself and just be like, no, they've come to my class, like I'm the boss here, you know.
Yeah, I think I have a very similar story. When my very first class was a spin class, when I got my first fitness job. And I remember saying to the participants, who I know they've been coming for years with different instructors, and this is my very first class, and I said to them, this guy, what was his name? Was it Alan? Big Alan at the gym. I said to them, and him specifically, my first class, take it easy on me. And he kind of has a funny look on his face, and he said, "I think you should be taking it easy on us, don't you think?" And obviously he's looking at me as the professional. I was kind of really nervous and whatnot. But that's a whole story in itself altogether. Really, what we're getting at here is everyone's got something in their life that you might want to start a YouTube channel, for instance, putting your word out there, and it might fall on deaf ears. And when we first started, we were like, well, do you know what? We've got this experience now. We will speak to the people who want to listen.
Yeah.
And there's always going to be the haters. There always is in life. You cannot please all the people all the time.
No. And it's about, if you were worrying about what every single person thought, you would get nowhere, because you'd then try to be pleasing every one of those.
Yeah. You want to be yourself. Just be yourself. And if somebody doesn't like you, then that's their problem. It's never a reflection on you. It's a reflection on them. If somebody hates on you, if somebody sends you a rotten message or calls you a nasty name, it's always a reflection on them.
Or makes you feel embarrassed for something that you thought was a good idea at the time. You thought it was a good idea at the time. Show some integrity. It probably was a good idea for you at the time.
And you know what? The only way you really learn, or the quickest way to learn, is by making mistakes. By doing what you want to do and then learning from the mistakes. So if somebody's going to call you out on that, then you can forget about them.
Perfect example is an old friend contacted, and they were given kind of advice when I never asked for it. It was based along the lines of keep your shorts on, to do with the Kilted coaches. And I was like, you have no idea what we're doing, what we're building, and why we do that. It's a bit of fun, it's this, it's that. Now, if I let that person's opinion affect my judgment, then I would get nowhere. You'd start questioning everything, but ultimately, I don't care what that person thinks. That's not saying that their opinion is not valuable. It is to them and for other subjects, but I don't care what people think with what I do. I make my own decisions.
And ultimately, you learn from your experiences. And say, for instance, we started the Kilted coaches, and everybody kind of thought, why are these guys doing fitness in kilts? It doesn't make any sense, and thought they were stupid. And 3 years down the line, it's nothing. Okay, well, you learn from that. You say, well, do you know what? Are we going to continue, or are we going to just keep doing what we're doing, but without the YouTube side of things? And luckily, it's been popular, which is great. But you could base a whole opinion on one person's, base your whole ethos and your actions on one person or even a group of people's opinions. It's crazy.
And also, the problem with worrying about what people think is that more often than not, these people that are highly opinionated want to tell you their opinion.
Yeah.
And if you allow that opinion to strike deep into your core, it can be really upsetting. You could be doing something and someone will say to you, oh, why are you doing that? Are you making any money from that? What a waste of time. And it'll put these seeds of doubt in there, and you'll question it. You'll say, yeah, why am I doing it? Oh, I'm not making any money, I'm wasting my time. It's like, no. That's their opinion of what they're doing. They don't know the ins and outs.
No, not at all. And the more you listen to these people, the more it empowers them to then do it to other people. So if you listen to the advice, whether it be good or bad, opinions, then they feel empowered, and that's why they're giving you their opinion in the first place, because they want to feel like they're making an impact in the world themselves.
They're so wise and so clever that, I think you should do it this way. It's like, all right, very good, that's your opinion, and you're entitled to it, but unfortunately we're going to do our own way.
Yeah, we do what we want to do. So, here's your action point, and here's how we get over. Here's how you stop caring what people think of you. Now, I learned this myself first through my guitar teacher, actually. Now, I can't play guitar. I'm hopeless. I'm not musically talented. I don't have a rhythm. I don't have a singing voice. I don't have a rhythm at all. But Mr. Coach Rab, he does have a singing voice, as you've heard before. So, my old guitar teacher, Mr. Martin Bembo, really nice guy. In fact, if you're watching this, hi Martin. He's trying to teach me these 4 chords. Okay, so we're doing it, and we're doing an 8-beat start. So it's four strums and then change chords. 4 in an order. And then we got used to that. We went down to a 4-beat, so four strums. And then we went down to a 2-beat. Now the 2-beat was really tough. Like basically, I just hold that a second. It was like basically 1, 2, change, 1, 2, change, 1, 2, change. And it was like, and because I wasn't getting the chords as quick, it was really, really difficult. And I was getting stressed trying to keep up with him while he was teaching me this. And he says, right, Stephen, he says, you okay there? And I says, I'm really struggling with this 2 beat, Mark, I'm really struggling. And he says, right, tell me what we're going to do. We're going to do a 1 beat. I says, you're crazy. You're absolutely nuts. I says, I can't even do a 2 beat. Never mind a 1 beat. He says, forget about that, Stephen. We're going to do a 1 beat. I says, right, fine. So anyway, 1 beat came on. Boom, change, boom, change, boom, change. And I was all over the place, fingers and thumbs, and it was just awful. It sounded awful. And he says, right, Stephen, now we're going to go back to the 2 beat. And you know what? It was like heaven. It was like heaven. I was like, oh, I've got all the time in the world. 1, 2, 1, 2. And it's just like this awesome beat. So that's and I use that, I still use it in my PT business to this day. I call it the Bembo technique. If somebody's finding something difficult, I make it harder. It's counterintuitive, but it works. As soon as you make something harder, the lesser level is easier. So this is what we're going to do with you.
Yep, so what we're going to do is we're going to head into the busy town centre and just randomly do 10 burpees.
In a busy place.
And offer no explanation whatsoever. Just get up and walk off like a boss.
So this all comes down to just doing something completely outrageous in a busy place that people around you are going to be like,
WTF.
What the? We're going to try and do it discreetly so that it's not obvious we're making a film. So we're going to have to do this individually. You know, one person will go up ahead, sort of going to hide there with the camera, and then we'll each do it. And this is just to show, you know, if you are worried about what people think of you, then go extreme. Just do something completely random. Go into a coffee shop and lie down on your back for 10 seconds in a busy coffee shop. Then stand up, go sit back down again and keep drinking your coffee, you know. Or do the Kilted Coaches Burpee Challenge. 10 burpees in a busy place and offer no explanation whatsoever.
Let's muscle up, Buttercup.
Let's do some burpees.
Like a boss. Job's a good one.
Is it done?
Seems longer when you're doing them yourself, though, right?
It does. I'm only on 3. I'm only on 3.
Yeah. It's funny, there's people in Starbucks watching.
I know. They're like, I seen somebody saying, that's far too stretchy for me.
Exactly.
Anyway, that's it done.
Yeah, 10 burpees, and we did not give a
But, you know, once it's done, you can like, that was good fun. Yeah, I did it. And yeah, there's guaranteed there's going to be people talking to like some guy in a kilt. It's just like doing burpees in the middle of the high street.
Yeah.
What the hell?
The funny thing about it is like when you've already done it once, you're like, to do it again would be a nothing. You know what I mean? And that's it, you stop caring what other people think.
So that is the Kilted Coaches 10 Burpee Challenge. Boom. Are you game?